This is a quest to the heart of the city. And it starts with a land, a beautiful land, where in the south there are open fields. In the north there are trees and great wide open skies. Then some people came and they built little houses. And they began to plough the land, sow some seeds, harvest. They built more houses. Little villages grew up, dotting across the land. And then more people came. More buildings arrived. More businesses. It grew bigger and bigger until this little collection of villages became a brand new city. In the middle of the city, there was an oak tree. And under the oak tree lived an old woman. She was very wise. She had fair but firm words to have for anyone who was there to ask. And she also, well, she seemed to know everything that was happening everywhere, what everyone was getting up to. But the city was getting bigger and bigger. And one day, the woman rubbed her eyes and she called out and she said, "We have got to find a new way of working together. We've got to find a way that this city can survive and thrive. We've got to find new ways. Who's going to help me quest for the heart of the city?" Well, a strange motley crew. Young men, young women set forth. We're ready for an adventure, they said. We'll go and find out the stories across the city. So the first traveller, she headed south, and when she got there, people were sort of shuffling around, not looking at each other, walking past each other, and they wouldn't look at each other. And the traveller thought, this is very peculiar. Why? It's as if they're in their own little boxes. No one's talking to anybody. And then she saw a hall. The doorway was open, light was spilling out. She went inside, and there were two women. Two women. And she went up to them. She said, "Why is it that no one is talking to each other? Why is nobody looking at each other? Why is old afraid of young and young afraid of old? What's happening?" And they went, "Do you know what? We've been thinking about this here on Beanhill, and we thought what we needed to do was hold a big meeting. And we'd ask everybody what it was that they wanted to do." So they started to talk. And they started to share their stories. And they were no longer in their little boxes. They found out, yes, they wanted to go on seaside trips. Yes, they wanted to have parties. They found out that the young people weren't so scary, and neither were the old people, and they could get on with each other. And this wonderful group called Beanhill and Moorlands Family Centre, and June and Sue, who shared their stories with us, thank you very much, they couldn't be here today. That's a way to get people talking to each other. Dragging them in, getting them sharing their stories, and going and doing things that people really want to do together. Right, said the traveller, that's a good story. The second traveller headed north. Now, although it was daylight, it was getting darker and darker. And she could no longer see her way, and things began to brush past her and knock her, and she was getting frightened, and she thought, "Is there anyone there? Can anybody help me?" When a lovely, soft, warm hand reached out and said, "I can help you."
I couldn't resist that.
I can show you how to navigate this strange land. Over to you, James.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to your soul, yet in a person's eyes burns the light of life. When my eyes, when my soul had perished, and my life like to be extinguished. The gift of sight is truly that, a gift. To look upon those that you love, to watch your children grow, and to see the beauty of the world that surrounds me. I am afraid of the dark, not of the blackness itself, but of missing all of the things. I'll never be completely for only my sight will have gone. I will still be there, only with a different perspective to you all. I do not need vision to live, just a vision. I wrote that poem using my sight in 2005. I come from an organisation called BucksVision. We're an organisation that are solely there to support, help and guide people that are losing their sight through their journey and changing their life. We try and share knowledge and experience, and we try and encourage people to be independent and to interact with the community as a whole. We have lots and lots of social groups, activity groups, clubs, and we're just a really nice bunch of people. And really, we just really want to reach out to everybody there, because from my own experience, I very much would not wanted to have been left in the dark, whereas now I feel like I've perhaps been brought into the light.
And we have some other wonderful people who were in that land who also had things to share.
I'm Linda from Bosom Pals. We've experienced darkness, but ours is a different sort of darkness from Paul's. We're all ladies who've had breast cancer, or who still have breast cancer, or who have cared for someone with breast cancer. And our recipe for dealing with dark, our sort of dark, is also reaching out to each other. And one of our specialities is a chat with friends, at least twice a month, tea and cake, and a friendly voice at the end of the telephone. And that way we come through.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz. Great, said the Traveller. More stories, more ways of finding out how we can keep building this community and finding the heart of the community. The third traveller headed east, and he saw the sun rising. It was absolutely beautiful, filling the sky. And there he saw a young woman who was sitting right on the top of the Belvedere. You know where I mean, don't you? And she had in her hand sheets of rainbow-coloured papers. And she said, "Come and sit with me." He said, "Have you got a story to tell?" "Yes," she said. "I've had a difficult time. I've had to find the courage to push open doors. Let me tell you my story."
Well, this is the poem I wrote when I came out as being transsexual or gender variant. And it's based on all the sort of notes I put in my diary. And it's called Before I Was Me. This is not a life if it is devoid of existence, always on the outside looking in. Sleep, eat, shit, TV, internet, the art of conversation lost by isolation. No spark of brilliance or sharp wit. The questions have stopped and failed to have meaning. No longer searching for answers. Wake up still in the same wrong body, scared just to open up. While the memories of a now distant family linger, just memories created by neurons in some dusty part of my brain. Faces and voices seem to fade from memory. Inner voice saying, "You never knew the real me." Every breath now feels like a punishment. Music no longer has meaning. Art can only be seen as shades of grey. I would give it all right now for a feeling, while every second inside that scream. This is not me. I am not right. I'm not who you think you see. I need to transform, evolve, come into being. I sit down and write a long overdue letter. "Dear Doctor, I have something I need to tell you."
"That's an incredible story," said the Traveller. "Would you share that?" "Yes," she said, "because I'm putting together a place of information that for anyone who needs to find their way through all of these doors, they need to have a place to go," which is indeed what you're doing. "Well, where shall we go?" said the Traveller. And just then, a huge bus pulled up. And on this huge bus, there were all sorts of people, all ages, shapes and sizes. And the travellers who were on board said, "You have got to hear the story that these young people have got to tell. It's incredible."
One day we decided to go to Wooden Lake for a nice day out together. We thought we should all travel there by bus.
We called the company. Oh, hang on. we called the bus company to check that we could get on the bus. They told us we could.
Excited, we all travelled from our homes by bus. We had a great day out.
It was time to go home. We waited patiently at the bus stop. Bus 1. I've got a old bus. Bus 2. You can put the ramp out. Bus 3. I don't have a radio to ask for backup. Bus 4. The bus wouldn't go low. Bus 5. Too many people, too many buggies. 6. No ramp. 7. You should have phoned ahead.
You wouldn't believe the excuses some bus drivers have. Yep.
None of the buses would take me. I was cold, fed up, and wanted to go home. We were right well done.
I was so angry I couldn't sleep. This isn't right. This isn't fair.
We wrote a letter to the bus company. We weren't happy with the reply. It said,
All buses should be accessible. We needed to talk to someone to tell them our story.
a man came from a river. He bought a bus. He answered our questions. He listened to us.
Every route should be wheelchair friendly. Disabled access routes could be clearly displayed on the scrolling timetables.
He told us if a driver says you can't get on them, tell them to ring the depot. He said, keep talking to us, keep telling us what is happening out on the bus.
We then got on the bus and the driver was excellent. He waited for everyone to sit down. He drove carefully. He took us home to our own doors.
If only all bus journeys were like that. We will keep telling the company what's happening. We want to change their way of working. Our motto is to feel the fear and do it anyway.
Wow, said the traveller, that's incredible! If only all buses were like that, if all bus journeys were like that. I'm sure our Gia's going to sort them out.
Yeah, I'm sorting out, don't worry.
Where shall we go? We have so many stories to share. We have so much to celebrate. The bus drove around the city, picking up different people, picking up more stories of success, picking up wonderful, heartwarming stories of the community. And then they thought, they found themselves where that great oak tree was, and there was the huge, bright green sward of grass, bright pink fluttering flags in the air, and they thought, this looks like a place for action, community action possibly, who knows? Yeah, big brain. And they all got off the bus. Everybody brought something to the party. They brought their stories, they brought their experiences, they brought food, they brought music, they brought dance, and everybody started to share. And we've got some wonderful dancers who are going to start us off with a dance.
Let's take
another time. And hopefully, well, we're invited to one of the wonderful parties that the Milton Keynes Middle East Cultural Group had one time. Because their group grew out of, they wanted to bring family, they wanted to share culture, they wanted to have fun, and started with parties. So everybody had a wonderful time at the party. And the wise woman said, yes, I think we found a way forward. This is the heart of our city. All of these experiences, all of these people, all of these stories. But we mustn't forget. We have to keep sharing those experiences. We need to work with each other. We need to find out what other networks we need to know about and pass things on. So keep talking, keep sharing the stories, keep having the celebrations. And this city will survive, and not only survive, it will thrive. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for those people who come and shared their stories. It doesn't scare us too much as professional performers, but these people are very brave who said, yes, we will talk to everyone. So can we just have a little big round of applause?